Hi, my name is Mateo Bolivar. I'm 21 years old and I'm really happy to be here. I will start by telling you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in the beautiful Colombia. I'm the youngest sibling in my family. I'm Christian. I'm a huge soccer fan and I'm also a musician. I play 5 instruments and love to sing. When I was growing up, my dad was my biggest hero. I will tell you why. He was born and raised in a small village in Colombia, not really in a rich family, and he started working when he was 17. Out of that, he managed to help his parents, pay for his own university, and then get a family. And he was providing a lot of good things for us. So I was really impressed by it and wanted to follow his footsteps, as you can see me in a small suit. So yeah, basically growing in that mindset, I wanted to continue and go forward into his footsteps. So when I was 14, I had a clear and privileged plan for my life. Usually, when you grow up in a low or middle income country in South America, you have the wrong mindset and you think that you need to go abroad, that the best opportunities are going to be outside. And that was my thought in that point. I love my country, but I thought that, yeah, maybe if I study in France, I would get better opportunities, then joining the corporate world and doing a big, promising career in the normal business. That was more or less my plan. But then I needed to throw it all to garbage. Why? Everything changed in a moment to the next. And the main reason is that my dad was unemployed for 3 years. So he was working for over 40 years, a lot of stability. And then one day, suddenly he lost his job. We say, okay, he's going to get one back in 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but it ended up never happening. And as a family, we lost all economic stability. And the privilege that we were having was completely gone. But this was the best thing that ever happened to me. At the beginning, I was crying and saying, why me? But then I realized that you have to play the game using the cards that you're dealt. Crying over it won't make any change. But I needed to know, okay, what do I got? What can I do? What can I do to change my future? Because if my dad could do it out of nowhere, I can also do it and find something different maybe. So I was super comfortable before, but then I needed to start pushing a little bit more. And then my entrepreneurial spirit was forced to wake up. I was 15 years old and I needed extra cash to if I wanted to go out, if I wanted to buy clothes or help my family in the house. So I started selling candies, then to give guitar lessons to small kids, also selling homework for my lazy classmates that didn't want to do it, reselling books, playing as a musician in weddings, selling donuts, literally doing anything that I can do to get a little bit extra cash. With this, I was almost earning a minimum wage at age 15, helping my family with some bills and also like yeah, providing for myself, I realized that I was capable of doing all this stuff. Then the next step was coming up. Probably I was going to need to go to uni. And the only university that I wanted to go in Colombia was the best business school that we got, Universidad de la Sabana. But it's so expensive to go to a private uni in Latin America. So the only way to get in was a scholarship. And only one out of 400 students can get this scholarship. I was not the best at school with grades and this stuff. So it was not really an easy task for me. But nevertheless, I was convinced enough that I was able to get it. So I started talking and talking and talking to people and trying to see how can I do it. And I was blessed and lucky enough to get it. This is a picture with my mom, my biggest supporter, the one that I go to running every time that I'm going through a hard time and the one that cheers me up. And yeah, we got this scholarship. It helped my family a lot. And it also helped me get a little bit more perspective into what's next. So I got this scholarship. My dad got his job back. I already knew what I was capable of. And the normal path will be to, yeah, study 4 years in uni, go to parties, enjoy the university life. But then I realized I don't want to wait 4 years to start caring about my future. I don't want to wait until something bad happens again, as it did in the past, to start working further. So I say, I want to do something now. I was 17, first semester of uni, and I founded my first startup. Found a good business opportunity. It was super interesting. And with this, I learned the basis of coding. I surrounded myself with a lot of mentors because I didn't knew much about it, but there are a lot of people that knew and that wanted to help. So I started to contact everyone and pitching my idea. They liked it. They give me feedback. Out of this, I managed to raise my first angel investment, $50,000 when I was 18 years old. And basically, it was just like jumping into cold water without knowing how to swim. I was a shy guy that didn't really feel comfortable speaking to other people in public. But then I started to do it and do it and do it, failing. And long story short, I was able to be the youngest participant in Shark Tank in Colombia, also recognized by the MIT, local, international media. And it was a really good experience. The startup was going good. I was sort of living the dream in that moment, but I wanted more. Not because I was ambitious, but because, as you can imagine from the slide where I showed the gummy bears, the music, and so on, I'm not the type of guy that would put all his eggs in the same basket. So I want to explore new ideas. And I wanted to work in an industry I felt extremely passionate about, even if it was just going to be a side hustle. This industry in particular was tourism. And why? Because tourism is the way to change how the world sees Colombia. My country is beautiful and amazing, but sadly, for many years, we had these labels of drugs, violence, and a lot of bad stuff. But as soon as the tourism started to become a central part of our economy and the pillar of work for many people, people started seeing Colombia as a beautiful place that they want to travel to, a beautiful place that has amazing people, amazing hotels, amazing places to see. So I wanted to be a part of this change. So I had the startup experience. I had the drive to do something else in this industry, but I was completely ignorant on the topic of hospitality, of tourism. But the only way to remain ignorant is to never ask questions. So I started to interview people in the industry around what could be done better in the industry. Is there a problem big enough solving? Are you willing to pay for a solution? Basically, do you have a pain that I can solve? Because that's the only way to make a good business, solving a real pain. And out of this discovery, I realized that 7 out of 10 complaints about the service in a hotel in particular are related to delays, lack of information, long waiting times. And this is basically when you pick up the phone in the room, nobody's answering, or they bring you the wrong stuff, or there is no enough employees around, you make a long line in reception. People don't really like that. And especially if you're, for example, in the pool and you need a towel, there's no one nearby, you don't have a way to order it. If you speak a different language, then it's a huge barrier with the hotel, and you're losing on a lot of stuff. And funny enough, since digital channels appeared, every industry increased their sales, but hotels internally decreased. Why? Because they are still doing things as if they were in the 1970s. So I realized that a change must be done, because requesting something in a hotel is harder than what it should be. It takes time, it's tedious, it's uncomfortable for the guests, there's no standardized channel of communication, a lot of time wasted, and also there is no way to monitor the processes. And that's why I created Contler, a digital concierge solution that will put the entire hotel just one click away. To keep it short and to make it simple, it's a platform in which, with a few clicks, you can order anything you need during your stay in a hotel in the language that you choose, without needing to unload any application. Room service, transport, spa reservation, you name it. This can be useful and suitable for a luxury hotel in the Swiss mountains. All of these pictures are from our clients, but also for a resort in Cartagena, for a small family-owned hotel in Armenia Quindío, for city hotels, small boutique hotels, 300-room hotels. Everyone needs a change in terms of technology, and it has been an amazing journey to build technology for them and also to democratize the access. We want to have hoteliers independent all around the world to jump on board in our solution. This is the future of guest service, a way in which guests inside the hotel can order anything in a matter of seconds, a way in which employees can be at the right place at the right time, and also a way in which managers can receive clean and accurate data to act right away. We are unique because we're fully web-based. We're not needing to unload any application. We don't have these barriers. We're not limited to a brand because we're completely white labeled. We have different versions suitable for different types of hotels. We use AI for multilingual interactions, for creating custom versions for any hotel. There's no friction to implement. Basically, a hotel can be from zero to starting up with what we got in less than an hour. And we're super scalable, currently serving hotels in 5 countries and just with a product that was built less than a year ago. There's a huge market opportunity. Smart hospitality is a projected market of $20 billion. Currently, only 3% of hotels around the world have a digital concierge. And this small percentage is built up by the big hospitality brands. They are the ones that can invest tens of thousands of dollars to create their own solution, but this is not the reality. And they also have a bad user experience. So we want to be the main player in the industry. Currently, we're deploying with more than 40 hotels in 5 countries with ongoing negotiations. And all of this has been completely organic with network effect. 1 year ago, just with pitch deck and the concept, we raised $200,000 and currently we're raising 500,000 already with commitments in the way. We have an amazing team that support me and we are building this together. All of them are part of our vision and we are going to build the future of hospitality. But now, do you remember why I started in tourism? What was my motivation initially? I wanted to share the way in which the world perceived Colombia and Colombians. And now I'm lucky enough to not only do it in the industry, but also do it as myself. I'm now changing the image of my country and my generation. I was one of the first Colombians to start a company, raise capital in Switzerland, and then reinvest in the local market. I was 20-year-old, living in Switzerland, completely different culture, no language actually of the local there. But I tried and pitched to everyone, and I was honest into what I was doing. They saw my vision, they saw my drive, and they decided to fund me. It was an amazing thing because it was the first time ever that they did business with a Colombian, and I was the youngest entrepreneur that they invested in that moment. So it was a really good experience. Now we're giving back in our local market. And also now I'm invited by several European organizations to represent the voice of Latin American founders. But beyond the business itself, yeah, is that?
Yes, we're at the 10-minute mark, so I have to stop you there. I'm so sorry, but this has been a fantastic pitch, and you certainly are a game changer of your generation.